Nicola. I had hopes to speak before Christmas, and given there's not a scintilla of difference between what we see now and what we had then, I'm really unsure what's been achieved in the meantime. But in bringing the vote in this way, and at this point, the government is continuing the trend set in the run-up to and throughout the 2016 referendum. And people have talked about improving the tone of the debate today, but we got to this very position today through betrayal, through deceit, through lies writ large on a bus, and we got here through corruption and criminality still under investigation today. And since the referendum, we've seen the government squirm and battle against any and every attempt by this House to uphold its role and scrutinise plans, including trying to deny us a vote at all, pulling it last minute in December, now making it not meaningful but meaningless, presenting a Hobson's choice of this deal or no deal, both of which the public and employers oppose alike. And sadly, I've already seen some damage in my community since the referendum. I've even shown constituents around this place, most recently Aaron, who've been laid off as a result. Southwark has a strong food and drink sector, hotels and hospitality, universities, the arts and creative industries, construction and architecture, finance and law, healthcare and public services, all sectors which have alerted me to problems, especially in the retention and recruitment of staff. Locally, not one sector or individual employer said anything would get better if the government won the vote on Tuesday. And the government's own analysis shows longer term the national damage if Brexit goes ahead, costing £100 billion. I'm proud to represent Bermondsey and Old Southwark, and I know I speak for local people. 73% voted Remain, an estimated 80% support it now. I voted against triggering Article 50, knowing I did so with the support of the vast majority of my constituents and of local party members who have often felt unrepresented by the National Party's position, sadly. But turning back to the government, since the Prime Minister published her proposals, I've had 2 constituents in touch to say back them. Thousands have been in touch to say oppose them and oppose Brexit, and people are sick of the deceit, but it continues. Deceit in that there is a deal now. There is not. Nothing is settled. Even if the government won on Tuesday, the only certainty is more uncertainty. Deceit that this is a meaningful vote, despite not knowing what the actual deal will deliver, or even when it might be finally agreed, if ever. It could take years to finalise trade arrangements, with more employers moving investment, staff and assets outside the UK in the interim, as we have seen, including in my constituency. And it is a deceit in that Brexit has promised the exact same benefits of EU membership, which they have utterly failed to deliver. They now more openly admit opposing freedom of movement. They take pride in insulting the 11,000 people living, working and contributing to my vibrant community, but born in other EU member states, who they accuse of somehow jumping a queue. And they ignore the 100,000 plus other constituents I have who do want the chance to live, to work, to study and to holiday across the EU for free, but who now face losing out alongside the rest of the UK citizens who face a £300 million bill to continue travelling current levels to countries which are currently free. And it is a deceit in that we were told everything would be fully negotiated ahead of departure and that other trade deals would be arranged. It isn't, and they have not been. We need to inject honesty into this debate and with the electorate. The UK has the most flexible package of membership in the EU. No Schengen, a rebate, no euro. A full membership which per capita as a percentage of GDP is one of the lowest of all member states and lower than some non-members, like Norway, contribute for less control and less benefits. So we must return to honest debate. People are rightly fed up with the lies and deceit, including the idea that the government's arrangements uphold the commitment to fully protect the integrity of the UK when they put our country's very future at risk and thoroughly undermine our international standing with the empty rhetoric of global Britain only pleasing Putin and Trump, who have no interest in a strong and unified United Kingdom. Finally, it's a fundamental falsehood, deceit and insult to present no deal as the only outcome if the government is defeated. It is not. For years, people have been told they could not have the things they needed. A police service able to investigate and solve crime. An NHS that doesn't involve 20-week waits for standard appointments. And a solution to the housing crisis. On these issues, the government told them there was no money and no deal. Now the government finds billions to waste on a no-deal Brexit whilst people still suffer, neglects it on housing, on policing and on the NHS. And in this fundamental fraudulent claim, the Prime Minister is playing Russian roulette with people's livelihoods and jobs. The UK can and should revoke Article 50, and I urge the government to take that approach. When Home Secretary, the Prime Minister, wrote in 2016 that it is clearly in our national interest to remain in the European Union on economic and security grounds, now she claims the exact opposite. The public see through that bluff, and the question they're left with is what kind of leader attempts to downgrade their own country's economy and security? My community was attacked in June 2017 at London Bridge and Borough Market. Under no circumstances will I support downgrading security. What kind of leader throws away the country's relationship with the strongest and wealthiest trade bloc on the planet, which covers half our trade and dominates vast swathes of our economy, especially services? I was elected to this place in 2015 on a promise that I would never vote for anything that would harm my community. Brexit has, can and will only do that. So I will keep my promise. I will oppose this limbo wish list and I support a new people's vote. And the truth is, we should all be bold enough to do our job. None of us were elected to downgrade our constituents' prospects, to downgrade our country or its security, to downgrade opportunities for the people we serve. And we should all have the courage to end the deceit and dump this dismal downgrade. Yeah.